Skibbity bit about pow. Yeah. Dano. It's your boy Dan Lewis. We are live. We are in the place. We are in the house. And it is happening today. What's going on, people? I hope you've had a fantastic Wednesday, or at least as good as it can be. I know life ain't that great out here at the moment. People are having to work from home again. People are doing all their damn things and all that. I hear you. It's calm. You know what? But we make life as good as we can, and we tune in to Dan Lewis Live at 9:30 to keep the vibes and the rhythm alive. You know what it is. Come on. Now, listen, today in the news, oh my days, do you know what, yeah? Man took a hot minute, yeah, just to like check out what's going on in the news, right? And you got Boris writing letters down to nurses saying, like, we'll give you all the support we can. Give him a pay rise then, innit? Man, there's Sajid Javid out there like, yeah, come on, everyone, get boosted. Boris standing in front of a sign like, get boosted. I'm sorry, Alexander, the piffle Boris Johnson. Nah, it's not going to work like that, bruv. Do you know what, yeah? People, you want people to get boosted? We want you to get booted, bruv. Get the bomber all out of here because no one wants to hear from you, my Donny. Seriously. These guys are acting as if they're in charge right now. I found it hilarious last night on top of that we had Keir Starmer talking about if it wasn't for him that the government's proposals wouldn't have gone through. Man's talking about, man's out of the Workers' Party, yeah? Man's out of the Workers' Party, the Labour Workers' Party, right? And he's talking about forcing workers to get jabs. And if they don't, they're going to lose their jobs. Are you mad, bruv? Are you mad? Are you mad? Yeah, he is. And the Prime Minister has proven that he hasn't got the trajectory. Or what was it? He said, I don't even know. He hasn't got the leadership. You ain't got the leadership, bro. If he didn't have leadership, why the dumb but you're following him for, man? Bruv, blind leading the blinds, blind begging the blinds. Oh, my days. I don't even know what to say about these people. They do my head in. They annoy me. They are idiots. They are weirdos. It is just unbelievable that these people managed to get into parliament. However, some good news out here. Come on. We've got to big up the people who were doing the bits. There were some MPs that took a solid stance against the forcing of workers having to get the jab so that they could keep employed. The likes of JC, Jeremy Corbyn, the likes of Diane Abbott. They took a stance, and I massively respect them. I massively have a lot of time for MPs who took a stance against that. Obviously, everyone's up for their own choice to do what they want to do in that parliament, but I definitely think we need more voices that are looking out for the workers out here. Do you know what I'm saying? And let's not forget this whole apartheid of vaccination or whatever that's going on in the UK, in the world right now, yeah? The global south still don't have access to the vaccines, the jabs, the same amount that we do here in the global north. It is a horrible situation that is the truth of the matter. Boom, we've got loads to get through to today. Obviously, we've got some of our usual news roundup, but also we have got a very, very special guests coming in tonight. We've got the team from Palestine Action coming in to say hello, tell us a bit more about what they've been up to this year. Obviously, we had them on the last show on the Bywire. Big up Bywire, big up all the independent media organizations doing their thing. We've got a few independent media organizations on the show tonight. But yeah, Palestine Action, they are amazing. We love those guys. We love all the work that they do. Absolutely fantastic. So they're going to be coming on the show very, very soon. Before we get into our first independent media news article, if you are loving what I'm doing, if you're loving, what we're doing in regards to bringing independent media news to the mainstream, because the mainstream just ain't giving you what bangs, yo. It is what it is. Hit me up on PayPal, send me a little donation. If you're watching on Twitter, it's in the reply to the original tweet. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, then it is in the comments. Hit the link. You know what it is. Done know. Now, oh my gosh, I've just seen some very, very cool people come up in the house. What's happening, people? We're going to get you on in just a minute. Before we do, though, I just want to highlight, obviously, man had to pick a story from the Canary, innit? You know what it is. Come on, we love the Canary, yeah? But I just, this happened like over the weekend and into the week, and I hadn't seen anything in the mainstream really covering it and talking about what's going on. And I think this is a fantastic display of what devolved powers can do and what not having Tories in power can actually do for working class people, specifically people of color, migrants, refugees, people seeking a new life here in the UK. Because the UK is a beautiful place. It has beautiful people like the guys from Palestine Action here, and I'm here, you know what I'm saying? But people want to come here. They want a better life here. And Priti Patel, I don't even know. Like, do you reckon she goes home and bleaches her skin, like hating herself or something? I don't know, bruv. I'm not saying she does that, but she does that, innit? Anyway, so the Canary have covered the story today. Ministers have warned Priti Patel over her barbaric nationality and borders bill. Big up the Canary for running this one. So basically, what's happened, right? I didn't know they could do this, you see, right? This is why it's big. So ministers in Scotland and Wales have come together. They've done a little union and that, yeah? They've bunned off the United Kingdom and they've done the United Scotland and Wales. And what they've said is they've jointly condemned as barbaric measures in the UK against the Nationality and Borders Bill. The Social Justice Secretary, Shona Robinson, and also the Welsh counterpart, Jane Hutt, have done this letter together to Priti Patel and basically demands that the UK reconsiders its hostile environment strategy and develops, I like the words that they've used here, sufficient, safe and legal routes. I'm thinking of my Wi-Fi routes for asylum seekers. It is absolutely fundamental that we have politicians speaking to the likes of Priti Patel about this kind of stuff. You know, the article covers like the fact that people have lost their lives in the English Channel, the fact that at the moment, the way that people are being treated, the way that the RNLI are being told that they could be put in jail if they save the people seeking refuge here in the UK, it's all just a big, bad mess. Now, what they've done is their concerns have actually meant that what they're using is they're using their devolved powers. So Scotland has its own government, Wales has its own government, and they have their own powers. And what they can do is they can actually go against what the UK, the British government, so the English government, say that has to happen. I always get mixed up, British, English, you know what I mean? I don't even know. I'm mixed race and I have to deal with being in the United Kingdom. Blows my mind, people. But basically, Scottish and Welsh politicians have told Patel that it contradicts their obligation under maritime laws and what they can do. So what they've done is they've used a legislative consent memorandum. All these big words, man. You get me? It's hard for man out here. But they've used this in Wales to basically remove some of the clauses in the bill so that they don't have to enact them. They can stand against them, and they're putting through the approval so that basically they can tell Priti Patel to suck out my G. I think it's fantastic that they've done that. Big up. Also, yeah, let's not forget, yeah, Wales is run by a socialist out here, yeah. My man Drakeford, yeah, man's on a socialist thing, innit? Right? Look at how Wales is doing. They're doing all right, bruv. Yeah, tell me socialism doesn't work. Anyway, moving on with the blood clot thing. The show is live. It's going. Man's vibes in. I forgot to turn the radiator off, so don't watch me if I start sweating today, yeah? It's got a little bit warm up in the office tonight, yeah? But we have got, oh my days, we have got Palestine Action into the house, into the thing, running up the place. These guys have had a mad year, you know. Like, honestly, man's on Instagram scrolling, and I see these people, like, jumping on a building saying, like, Solidarity Palestine. I'm like, pick up them lot there, yeah? So man starts following them, innit, yeah? They're throwing red paint all over these buildings. I'm looking into them, and they're like, yeah, these guys supply the arms or the manufacture the bits that go into the weapons that they use over in Israel against the Palestinians. I'm like, pick up these guys, you know. Next thing you know, they're doing all kinds. They're on top of the Liverpool Echo Arena, or I don't know what it's called now, but they're on top of the Echo Arena, and when the arms fair is coming into Liverpool, and they're just shutting down the whole thing, like, you know, feds everywhere, fire brigade coming. They've got deals with the fire brigade that the fire brigade will not help the police remove people from the top of their buildings because the fire brigade's union have basically said solidarity with Palestine, fuck the police. So drum roll, all of the things, smash the tables. I'm not allowed to because I break the table when I do it. But Palestine Action are into the house. What's happening, guys? How are we doing? Are you good? It's so lovely to see you, by the way. Yeah, man. Wait, do you know what? My sound's off. Look at me. I'm just so not prepared for today. How are we doing? Are you okay? Oh, wait, is that me or is that you? I still can't hear you. Let's just see. Is it me? No, my sound's definitely working. I can't hear you. Oh no. This is what happens with live stuff, you know. Big up, Wendy. What's happening? They're going to be coming back in a moment. Don't worry about that, guys. What we're going to do while they log out and log back in, I think I'm connected by sound. Yeah, I definitely am, because I can hear my sound test in my ear. What we're going to do now is we're just going to jump over to the next news story. See how professional we are out here. What's happening, people? Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see you in the comments. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Retweet, like, share, put it in your WhatsApp groups. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog. Get everyone to tune into the Blood Clot thing. Also, on all the channels that we're on, it is recorded, so the show will stay live. Make sure you check out my website as well, thinkbecome.uk. Now, the next story that I want to run onto is from Declassified. Big up Declassified, man. Declassified UK have reported just this week about Ben Wallace and 10 journalists in a wine cellar. What? Oh my days. So basically what's happening, Ben Wallace, Minister of Defense or whatever his blood clot name is, he uses a select club of journalists to give his department good press, basically. But so many in the media are already doing this when it comes to the Ministry of Defense. It's interesting to see exactly what it is. Now, what they've got is a little crew. It's the DCA, the Defense Correspondents Association. Palestine Action guys have said, Echo, stop. So they've said that they are going to be with us in 2 minutes. So one Wednesday night last January, these journalists from some of the biggest newspapers and TV channels turned up at the MOD, and they got taken down to an old wine cellar that was used by Henry VIII. Oh my days. Oh my days. So the people that were there from the media was Jonathan Bill from the BBC, Alistair Bunkle from Sky News, now covers Middle East, but has left the DCA, Carl Dinham from ITV, Lucy Fisher, The Times, Larissa Brown, Daily Mail, now at the Sunday Times, David Willits from The Scum, Dan Sabag from The Guardian, Kim Sen-Gupta from The Independent, Helen Worrell from The Financial Times, Dominic Nichols from The Telegraph, Robert Fox from The Evening Standard, Chris Hughes from The Daily Mirror, and John Ingham from The Daily Express. I said all of those names for a very specific reason, because I want you to know who the people are that are getting looked after by this government to say nice things about them. Let's not forget that the soldiers who go out there into these war zones, into these hostile places, a very, very large amount of the time, they are not bad people, right? Sometimes there are bad people, and that has been made clear. But a lot of the time, they are doing as they're told. And it is the people here in the UK, these ministers, these generals of the army, or whatever they are. I don't know the specifics to their names because I'm not interested in them. I don't believe in war. I don't believe in having nuclear weapons. I don't believe in having to produce weapons. I don't believe that we should have to manufacture and sell weapons to make money. I just don't believe in weapons or war or violence. Anyway, so that these departments within the government can get a good representation in the media, they have the media come and go for special little drinks in the cellar that Henry VIII used to use. So what this story does, Declassified UK, make sure you do check it out. By the way, big up Phil Miller for reporting on this one. And what they're saying here is that it is a very cozy little club where they have WhatsApp groups, and Ben Wallace treats journalists in specific ways. He's nice to them if they do good stories about the Ministry of Defense or anything within. It also highlights the fact that the Ministry of Defense spends a large amount of money and a large amount of time on Twitter and social media to try and promote what they're doing. Actually, it's one of the most active departments on social media. All of these news organizations, there's a lot of detail on the names of these journalists and people, but what they do is they come along for these meetings maybe once every few months, and as a part of their membership, they get opportunities to go out to war zones or out to different places and see what's going on, but report positively about the work that's being done, not actually look at the damage that is being done. This isn't about the individual soldiers, by the way, right? I've got no time for having to go at individual soldiers for doing exactly what they're told. It's the same as workers. Workers are told to do their job. That's what these guys are. I know that there are some, moral issues behind it that people might have, but that's not what I'm talking about right now, right? We're talking about what the department decides to do, what they decide to tell those soldiers to go out and do, what they do environmentally, what impact they have on communities, the impact that it has on young children, seeing men walking down their street, coming into their schools with massive loaded weapons, having to see bombs going off in the night, having to hear the sound of people dying, the impact that it has. They don't talk about these things. They talk about it in a positive way about the Ministry of Defense. All, what's the word? God save the Queen and respect the army, all of that. No, it's all, a lot of it is about money making and all of this side of things. And what Declassified UK have done here is they've covered the story behind how the Ministry of Defense get these positive stories in their newspapers. There's one part here where it says, if you break ranks, there are consequences. Ben Wallace gets cross with people who write things that he doesn't like. It's nearly out of a playbook. It's horrible, but this is how the Ministry of Defense make sure that they get that positive media. It's not right. It's not okay. And just think about the fact that these are senior journalists, senior people from media organizations going into very secretive, a wine cellar that Henry VIII used to use. Oh, look how privileged you are. Look how special you are. I'm looking after you. Now write good stories about the Ministry of Defense, you like a blood clot. You know what I'm saying, man? It ain't right. It ain't cool. It's not good. Now, back to my good friends who have been baiting up the truth. What's happening, guys? Can we hear you now?
Can you?
We were having way too much fun listening to you.
Oh my days, I love seeing your faces. How the damn devil are you two? And how's your day been?
It's been good, actually. Good. Really good. We were at a low-key concert last night, and I got invited on the stage and gave a rousing speech, and we recruited loads of new people last night.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Which one was it? Where was he?
Manchester.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what, right? Do you know what? I was tempted to go to that one because there was a couple tickets going, Oh, that looks lively. That looks exciting, bruv. I'm jealous. You know, the only reason I didn't go is because of the whole COVID situation, innit? Yeah. I've become a bit like, I'm bunkered up in my little room. Like, remember last time you spoke to me, I was in my kitchen.
Yeah.
You had to
look at me now. This is what hard work does, right? It pays off, right? You become broke, but you get what you want. I'm nearly there. I've got a window to fix. I've got some shelvings to build, but we've got a door on the toilet and we've got heating.
That's upgraded.
And I look like Boris Johnson with the blue lights as well. Come on, man. But listen, we ain't here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you guys. Obviously, this year has been crazy for you, the amount you guys have been up to, and obviously all the people involved in Palestine Action. From across the UK, there's been loads and loads and loads of different type of actions going on. We met in the summer, obviously digitally, and you were saying, the start of it really was that you're fed up of writing petitions, you're fed up of sending emails, you're fed up of, standing outside with a couple of placards. It's time for action. The people of Palestine do not deserve what's happening. We need action. We need justice. And there are ways in which we can bring about that justice through the actions which you guys are doing. So for the people who are watching the show and when it goes out later, just tell us a little bit more about like the kind of actions that you guys do and who it is that you're targeting, what organizations or companies that you are specifically targeting.
Yeah, definitely. So our main focus is Elbit Systems, which is Israel's largest arms company, who actually market their weapons as battle tested because they've been tested on Palestinian civilians in Gaza who are occupied and have been under a legal blockade for over a decade now. They can't get basic things in and out of Gaza. And then repeatedly, as we saw in actually May this year, Israel routinely bombards them with attacks, killing mostly civilians most of the time. And then they actually use this to call them tested. But even when they're not bombing and directly killing them all the time, they're constantly surveilling the skies of Gaza with these drones, which are actually built. Often their parts are built here in front of us in Britain. So basically they use Gaza as the testing site, Britain as a place to make these weapons, and then they're selling it on to be used in other places like Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, etc. The list goes on. And And so we target, we've got 10 sites here in the UK, 5 factories, 2 headquarters, and 2, I know, it's a bit greedy, isn't it? But and they operate in 3 different RAF sites. But we've also targeted companies like Arconic this year. So that was on the 4th anniversary of Grenfell, because Arconic actually supplied the cladding, knowing that it was lethal to the Grenfell Tower, leading to the disaster that happened there. They killed 72 people. But the same company also supplies parts for the Israeli warplanes. So we targeted them on the anniversary. And actually, I think the activists completely destroyed the place. So that caused quite a bit of disruption for that company. But we've also done things like targeting the suppliers for Elbit Systems. And it's crazy when you start to, I think part of what we like to do is obviously disrupt the companies that are making these weapons, but also just exposing just how entrenched and how deep it goes. Like literally in every major city, or you're never far enough from a company that's building weapons to kill people in this country. It's crazy, but that's what we do. We go and shut them down, throw red paint over their buildings, cause as much damage in some cases as possible. Because each time you do that, then they're shut down for longer, which means they can't build these weapons to kill people. And for us, and I think a lot of people that support us, it's common sense. Do you know what I mean? If you see you've got factories making weapons to kill people, it's the same as if you saw somebody about to hurt someone in the street. Most people would step in the way. And for us, it's as direct as that. When you know that these weapons are gonna, at the end of the day, they ain't gonna be used to make the world a better place. They're gonna be used for the powerful to keep powerful and destroy indigenous groups across the world. And yeah, we've had some successes with that. We've caused them hell, hopefully.
Yeah.
We have 15 million pounds.
That was from August this year, so it's gone up.
It's gone up since then.
I haven't done the maths.
Yeah, it's interesting you were talking then about Wales, because the very last action that Palestine Action took, which was actually a collaboration with a group called the Welsh Underground. Who are seeking a Socialist Republic of Wales, and there was there's a factory in Wales, in Wrexham, called Solvay, that makes parts for this. And these Welsh crew got on the roof, caused lots of damage to various parts of the building, shut it down. It was still shut down quite a few days afterwards. And for us, those kind of like collaborations with other groups who are approaching us and want to work together is really key. And I think I would just add with what Huda said is also, since we last spoke to you, there obviously, COVID seemed to calm down a bit, and we got out and actually managed to meet real people, including EWT and places like that. And everyone we spoke to, we were like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And like, we gave this workshop at TWT. And first of all, the person said to us, it'll only be about 5 people turn up. And there was 50 odd people. And like virtually every single one of them there were like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And signed up, to like, get us in on this. And we're seeing that more and more, that people understand that. And I think maybe, and maybe we'd say our last success was just last week. So Elbit Systems, there's been actions, pre-Palestine Action against them, and what we do is sustained actions, not just one-off things here and there. We're going to go back. In Oldham, we've done like 10 actions against them there. In other places, actions. And it was the first ever court case. They'd never been to court before. Never before. They'd always bottled it, basically. And to be honest with you, Dan, we part of our kind of idea is it's fine to get into court, right? But I don't know if you know, I've been to court 4 times. Just for the CPS and the police's point of view, I've won every time. But on the whole, right, the courts are run by judges who are basically middle-aged, upper middle class white blokes. So we're a little bit of trepidation about that, because it's not our constituency. They might go against us. But even when we had that judge, there was a judge in this case. 2 people had gone to a factory. They'd thrown bottles, glass bottles, wine bottles, actually empty wine bottles that had been drunk before.
They were filled with paint.
And they were filled with paint. Yeah, the wine wasn't wasted. Don't worry.
I was worried. I
worried about that, bro. And they'd thrown these bottles of red paint, smashed them over the front of the building, blocked themselves to the gates. a 2-day trial. And the Crown Prosecution Service had tried to make it as difficult. You can pick up on some of those facts in a minute. But at the end of it, the judge went, no, this is an entirely proportionate response. And, you know, Priti Patel, when she's not trying to dye her skin white, can throw any new laws she wants, But we at Palestine Action and our friends and comrades that Kill the Bill and all those other things, we're not going to stand for this, are we? Whatever she does, we're going to go out there and continue to show that it's the streets that will show that these laws are unenforceable. Do you want to pick up a couple of things on that case that the judge shared?
Please do, definitely.
Yeah.
So they got found not guilty, which obviously is brilliant. And I think the brilliant thing is that for over 7 years, Elbit have avoided taking any activists to court. And then they finally get the courage to go to court for the first time ever. And thinking that, it's all set up as a magistrate's court, which means it's only the judge's decision. You don't get a shot, a jury or whatever. And they lost, which I think was absolutely brilliant and just shows like the direction we're going down. But without trying to sound too technical, basically between like the prosecutor, which is the people that are trying to convict you, and the defense, which is the people on our side, they normally have to agree some facts, like basic facts in the case that, so you can move on to the bits that you don't agree on. And we had like 7 pages, the defense had 7 pages of facts to say, this is what Israel is doing, this is what Elbit is doing. The prosecution going, no, we can't accept a single one. And then the prosecution goes back and says, right, we sent it to headquarters of the CPS. And this is a magistrate's trial. And they're sending it to the headquarters, come back. And after our defense has said, okay, here's 6 lines. Yeah. It's all from Elbit's website. Like, you can't disagree with this. They said, can't agree on it. All we can agree on is to say there's a conflict over land ownership and some people have died. And that's like the CPS's position. They can't even accept what's on Elbit's own website. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no wonder we got to go and take this type of action to actually shut these factories down, because they're not even willing to accept what's on their website, let alone investigate the crimes that they're complicit in. You know what I mean? It's a madness.
But we won. We won. There's one funny story I want to say about it. So this is an arms company, right? Israel's largest frigging arms company, right? They make drones, they make weapons all over, right? Yeah. And there was 2 people on trial, a young woman in her 20s and a woman in her 50s were there, yeah. And there's this, so the arms company, they actually came to give evidence, yeah. And they hid behind a frigging black screen, a massive screen put up in the court. And there was like, the public gallery was full with, people, elderly people supporting us, to put it this way, right? And the arms dealer hid because he was scared behind this whole thing. It was just comical. It was so comical.
Oh my days, bruv. Do you know what? Yeah, it shows exactly what the people behind these companies are made of, and exactly like how messed up the whole system is. You know what you were talking about, things that you can agree on and you can't. The fact that they come back with that, and at the end of the day, also it shows, in my opinion, right, a lot of the time they expect people like yourselves to come to court and not know what's going on, to come to court and not have as much fact as you do. But you went in there, you went in prepared, you went in backed up, you knew what's about to happen, and you believed in your actions. And that's the beautiful thing, right? So one of the things I've been talking about on the show this week, I don't know if I explained to you guys, but like we've just started the show back up this week. We're not with Bywire no more. No love lost there. They're all good people. We're just doing a new thing. But like, you got to believe in something. And that's how I got to where I am. And I want to promote people like you because I believe in what you guys are doing. You believe in that action. You believed in signing those petitions. You believed in writing to your MPs. But when it doesn't work and you still believe in it, you keep fighting for it and you keep fighting for what you believe in. And I think when people also believe in their communities, believe in the people around them, change can happen. We have the change in our hands. And I don't want to sound like one of those Chukwuemeka MPs, change whatever. But like, whenever I use that word now, I just think of them. It's horrible. It's cringeworthy. But like, the power of change is amongst us. It's amongst working class communities. And that's one of the things that I think is also beautiful about what you guys have done. You've gone to Oldham, you've gone to Wrexham, down to London, wherever else. And people have come out in support of you, people who didn't know who you were. There's one video I thought was fantastic, right? So you had some people on the roof, I think. There was some red paint all over the place. And I think it was a live video. And this woman with a pram was just walking along. and she just stopped, and you could hear her go, what's going on? What's going on? Why are they doing all that? And you could just hear her in the background. And I'm like, who is this? And then she goes, what? Really? They do that here? No, I'm not having that. Fuck off, you bastards. No, they can fuck off. You police can fuck off as well. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, yeah? When you start telling people the truths of what's going on around them, they want to be a part of making that change because they don't want weapons being built in their communities. They don't want to, when they're taking their kids to school, oh, look, baby, here's the building where they make weapons to kill children just like you in Palestine. Come on. No, fam, it's not good, man. And I just think for you guys, it's been such a, like, you know, the battle is not won, the war is not won, whatever, you know what I mean? But in terms of the small changes that you've been able to achieve, it's been a very, very good year. And I think we have to sing the celebrations of you guys towards you guys, all of the people involved, and a special thanks obviously for coming over and doing what you did in Liverpool. Go on.
Yeah, that was a perfect example of what you're just saying there, I think, in terms of belief, because as you know, what happened there, is that there was a dispersal order, there was police everywhere, but 2 Scousers still got on the roof, They believed that they could do it, right? And they still managed to do it, which I think is really funny. And also it was another one of those collaborations between an existing group, Stop the Liverpool Arms Fair, group of local people who got involved. There was stuff going on beforehand, graffiti outside the place. And even after it had gone, I think some people went outside with a banner in front of the door saying, never frigging come back, you lot, But that kind of, like you said, that belief in that we can do something about this, And they've gone through that process there as well as going, we've gone through, we've spoke to the council, they're saying their hands are tied, whatever, if that's true or not. But actually, a couple of Scousers, I know you're a kind of you're an adopted Scouser, aren't you?
Anything, are they? Just tied to the arms dealers.
And you cannot stop Scousers, man. You cannot stop Scousers. Trust me. There's one thing in life. If a Scouser says to me, I'm going to do it, they're going to do it. I don't know if you see, there's a video of a kid at a Liverpool game about 2 weeks ago. And him and his mate, and I mean a kid, literally a kid, ran on the pitch in the middle, grabbed the ball, threw the ball into the stands, jumps in the stands, got the ball, and ran back up the top. Like, Scousers, they are the best kind of breed of human you can get, really, honestly. There's no question. Totally. But yeah, like, I won't get started on Liverpool City Council because that's a whole nother show. I already declined an invitation about that one to talk on another show about Liverpool City Council. I can't get involved on that one. That's a bit of a madness. But yeah, you're spot on. The council didn't do what we expected them to do. And you got a couple of Scousers who believed, and I think across the board, though, you know, we talk about Scousers, but across the board, you've got a lot of people who believe, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. Listen, guys, I've taken up a lot of your time, so I do not want to keep you for too much longer. If people want to get involved, if they want to follow, if they want to throw you some money, what do they do? Where do they need to go?
Yeah, so we've got our social media at Pal_Action on Twitter and Instagram, not on Facebook. But you can also go on our website, PalestineAction.org, and you can sign up there and do give us money if you've got it. And join Palestine Action.
Yeah, definitely join. PalestineAction.org, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's in the comments for anyone who's watching on YouTube and Facebook. And on Twitter, you can link to their profile is on the tweet already. So that's there for you guys. Also, if you do head on over to my Instagram, I've tagged the page as well. And I'll do a post about you guys on TikTok later as well, just because, you know. TikTok. Yeah, don't know we do TikTok out here. Come on.
TikTok.
I don't do the dances though. Don't say you're doing dances, bruv. Like, all
we'll do dance on the roof.
Yeah, you should do that. Okay, there's TikTok viral. I don't know. Where does the Chinese government stand on Palestine? Are they a pro or?
I think in terms of all the social media places, they're all as bad as each other at this point, aren't they?
Oh man,
Facebook. Why don't I try TikTok?
Oh man, yeah, just get on them all. There'll be a new one by the end of the month, trust me. Yeah. But yeah, listen, guys, thank you so much. I hope whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I hope the winter season is a beautiful time for you guys. You get a chance to have some rest and plan some more madness for the new year. I can't wait to sit down and have an OJ with you two at some point soon. Yeah. No spraying any more champagne, bruv. Come on, Richard. I see you. But you guys have a beautiful time. Thank you so much. Everyone who's watching, make sure you check them out. Peace and love, people.
Thank you, Dan.
See you later. Oi, I adore those guys. I absolutely adore them. Big up them. Make sure you do check out their website and support the team. Them guys are doing amazing bits all over the place. Now, quickly, before we do end the show, we are running a little bit over. I do apologize if you need to get the kids to bed or you want to go get some grub or whatever it is. But stick with me for a little longer because you're going to love this story. It's another good news story. I always try and end the show on a good news story. You get me? Woo, man, got a little excited. But boom, open democracy. Yeah, you know what it is. New article came out today from Katie Whitaker. Whitaker or Whitaker? I don't know. I'm no good with these names and things, bruv. But basically, the headline is, "We stopped Cambo. Here's how to beat big oil." Whee! Yeah. So you want to beat arms companies? You want to beat the companies that are providing arms that attack Palestinians? Go to Palestine Action. You want to stop big oil? Then come on over and speak to the people at Open Democracy who have been talking about exactly that. I'm overly excited. Apologies. At least we haven't gone offline today. We're learning our mistakes. Now, on Thursday, the 2nd of December, basically, if you're into the environmental world, your WhatsApp, your group chats, and all of them things would have absolutely blown up, just as Katie's did, because out of nowhere, Stop Cambo activists were seeing the news that Shell had pulled out of the controversial Cambo oil field. Now, Katie actually did end up calling up the Shell media line to make sure it wasn't just a stunt, so like saying it had happened to call off the activists. But basically, this is about, and I'm not gonna read everything from the article because I beg you go read it. Go check out Open Democracy. It's on the homepage. But basically, what's happened here is people have come together and they've said, we don't want another oil field up here in the North Sea. Excuse me. We don't want another oil field. We want a Green New Deal. We want a green industrial revolution. We want a future for our kids, their kids, and their kids, and so forth. We want a future for everyone in the world. We believe in renewable energy. We believe that we don't need oil to keep fueling our cars and all of that stuff. And they've done a fantastic job over the last 2 years in trying to fight this. Katie talks about what's happened. There's been the Extinction Rebellion protests, and then there's been the pandemic. There's been the UN climate COP26 in November. So much going on. But it was these activists that kept focus on stopping the Cambo oil fields, and they have actually started to see progress. Now, the work that they had done wasn't about speaking to politicians. It wasn't about trying to change legislation in Parliament. It wasn't trying to get politicians on board. What these people were doing was actually taking action, physical action, people doing things online, in person, to actually stop the Cambo oil fields. Now, the climate movement, like over recent years, they've really started to look at how we can deliver a message of a just transition to workers. There's the Green New Deal or the Green Industrial Revolution, where we're specifically talking about what a Green New World, let's call it, what a Green New Deal will look like. It's not about having a job and not having a job. It's about having a job in an industry that is damaging the earth, damaging the future, or transitioning that job over to a job that is protecting the earth, that is protecting our futures, and not damaging everyone's future. So it is fantastic that, back in 2020, I think it was in the article, they mentioned that Friends of the Earth and Greenpeace had published an offshore report. Now, it is very important to remember that there are 29 other offshore oil and gas fields in the UK expected to seek approval before 2025. So this isn't the end. Stopping Cambo is far from the end. there is so much more work to be done, and there are so many more oil companies to be stopped and so many more investors and billionaires to be stopped. But right now, let's look at this victory. Let's take it and look at how we can move on, how we can grow, how we can make sure that more and more of this happens, and we stop these oil companies from damaging our futures. They may have been at COP26 talking about what they are and aren't going to do, but let's be honest, unless we put the pressure on them, they ain't going to do shit. So big up Open Democracy, big up the Canary, big up Declassified, massive big up to our friends at Palestine Action. Listen, guys, if you've loved the show, if you've enjoyed watching tonight, please do have a think about giving a donation. Help me keep doing what I do here. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. I might be a little earlier, I might be a little later. I will let you guys know in the day. It all depends on what happens in my house until I can get things a bit more steady. But I will soon have a regular time slot on regular days. But I'm going to keep pumping out the show. It's always here on record. Make sure you do also check out my website. Apologies, guys. Got a little bit excited at the end there. Man's like, woohoo, getting all dry out and that. But yeah, I get so excited when I see the Palestine Action, guys. So if you can donate over paypal.me/thinkbecome. Check out the website, thinkbecome.uk. My name is Dan Lewis. This is Dan Lewis Live. I have absolutely loved being here tonight with you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit me up in the comments. I always check them the next day and reply to everyone. Peace and love. I'll see you guys soon, man.